I wanted to ask you, of course, about your presidential run. And there's some exciting news, I believe. So last week, Chris Hedges, friend of the show, Chris Hedges, said during an event for Workers Strike Back, which was organized by Kshama Sawant, he said that he wanted you to run as a Green Party candidate. And you, of course, when you announced you were with the Movement for the People's Party, the MPP. Do you have an update about this?
Oh, yes. No, that process is very much uh, uh, in movement, and I look forward to it. You know, I'll always have gratitude for the tremendous work of the volunteers of the People's Party and so forth. But there was so much going on internally, and therefore we had to be able to keep the focus where it belongs. And so I am still deeply committed to a broad coalitional sensibility and a united front. And so I invite a variety of different organizations, and that includes the People's Party. But I'm certainly moving in the not just toward, but want to look forward to being a part of the nomination process of the Green Party. And I look forward to being able to already be in very rich conversation with my dear brother Barack and my dear sister Stein, sister Jill, and brother Ajamu, who I have great love and respect for. So that's true. That is new, and which means when it comes to infrastructure and institution, it's much broader and deeper. Access to the ballot, much broader. But in the end, as you know, any candidacy to run the empire in order to dismantle the empire has to be part of a movement. So it's really a moment in a much larger movement, domestic as well as international, to keep the focus on precious poor and precious working people wherever they are.
So it's going to be an MPP and Green Party run? Or
no, it would be Green Party being having the major aegis, and then an openness to a variety of other parties, which is including, of course, People's Party, but a whole host of other organizations as well. So in this sense, it's going to be under the authority of the Green Party that has its nomination process. So I wouldn't be candidate until I go through that process. But what we're doing is we're keeping the focus on what the campaign keeps the focus on, which is the precious and priceless poor and working people here and abroad.
And what made you decide to shift from the MPP to the Greens, and why didn't you run with the Greens originally?
Well, one, his brother Nick and the others were kind enough to extend the invitation to me. Very much so. And I still give them credit for that. We had a magnificent launching and so on. But then you had all of the baggage carried and the challenge of execution institutionally and so on. And when I did hear, mediated through my dear brother Chris Hedges, from certain individuals in the Green Party who had their own invitation for the nomination, I said, well, if in fact there's a good chance that I'll be able to have much broader infrastructure, institutional capacity, and make sure that there's no distractions in terms of any kinds of struggles or tensions or various kinds of stigmas associated with parties and persons, it's very important that I'm able to keep the focus where it belongs.
And also you have ballot access, right, as a Green?
Oh, yes. You're starting off with almost 20, and then you can have another 21 in a matter of a few months, whereas we were starting with, just one or two. So again, I want to extend my deep gratitude to the brothers and sisters in the People's Party. I mean, they're the ones who are the catalysts in this regard. But now I'm off and running with very few distractions and keeping the focus where it belongs.